Hi, Kondrik's viewers. Thanks for what? Oh.
Welcome back to Hypermine. As always, this is Kondrik, and as you can see, I'm here with Jan again, back at the zombie spawner, and
Yes.
And it's time. It is time to work on the curing area. So I think what we're probably going to do is just use this as an intro to the episode, and we've got some clearing out to do. We got to figure out where exactly we want the curing room to be, and then I have an idea for how I want the mechanism to work, but it's one of those things where it's best to figure it out as you go. Because things are going to work differently, especially when you're working with rail lines and stuff. The way they place can completely change the way you have to build something.
Yeah, because it can the directions and stuff be all twisted around at some time.
Yeah, because sometimes especially because the design I'm thinking of making will switch the rails depending on how many zombies are at what location, and it'll change based on the direction it's pointed, whether or not the switching will work correctly. But yeah, so I guess what we'll do is we will try to figure this thing out, and then once we've got something a little bit more laid out, maybe we'll come back once to show the mid-range progress, and then maybe cut again and come back a third time to show the completed thing. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll be one cut, maybe it'll be two.
Oh, excellent.
Either way, yeah, we'll be back in a little bit.
See you in a bit.
Later. All right, and we are back. And we got some noisy people over here, don't we?
Yeah, they are making a bit of a racket.
Very noisy neighbors. So we've got the rail and stuff set up for this part for collecting the zombie. So if you want to go ahead and the guy on the right, let's send him off so people can see.
Okay. So I need to punch him into the corner.
Yeah, and then just
and
push
press the button.
And off he goes.
Yay!
Now, it did sound like he took a little bit of damage in the ceiling back there, so I'm going to have to check that. But I'm going to come around.
Once they're cured, any damage will get reset anyway, won't it?
Yeah, I believe it completely just starts over with the new entity. So, yeah, it should not carry the damage along.
Someone replaced him.
Ooh. So I'm going to stand back here so that my viewers can see what's going on. And if you...
Okay, I'm going to... I'll send off the one in the middle.
All right. And there we go. And over the top. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out about the ceilings here, but it seems to be working fairly well. I think we can... yeah, I think we can turn off the noise now.
Okay, well, you want me to send this last one over in the minecart?
You know what? Let's, I'll go down below so that I can show the redstone that's making it happen, and then I'll let you do that, yeah.
Okay. I think it must be daytime now because it's starting to spawn rather quick.
Yeah. All right. So, let's see. He's on the right. Correct?
He's on the right, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll send the cart now.
Yep. So when you push that button, it lights up some redstone that triggers the dispenser. I'm not exactly explaining it well, but anybody that knows anything about redstone should be able to tell what this is doing. There's a button on top of this block here, which triggers this redstone. And this repeater turns off this torch, which when it is powered back on, turns on the dispenser. So the dispensers in this system are in an always on configuration, which means that they have to turn off and then back on again before they can send out the cart, which adds a nice little delay. So if you push the button and then remember, oh wait, I forgot to punch the zombie into the corner, You should have enough time to do it.
Yeah. You get a bit of a margin for error.
Exactly. And now I do have some hoppers hooked up already to these droppers, but they're not currently hooked into anything. What I'll do is I'll run another row of hoppers across the top of all those, and then around to the front where we'll figure out a place for an input chest where you can just dump a bunch of carts into an input chest, and
it's going to need to be a lot of carts because it'll fully stack in this dispenser here before it starts stacking in the others.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not only just going to fill this dispenser before it continues on, it's also going to fill this dispenser, this hopper, and this hopper before it can continue on to the next one, which will then fill dispenser, hopper before it continues to the next. Right. So that's 19 carts per dispenser.
So if you need me over the weekend, I'll be AFK at the iron farm.
Well, I think the iron farm has more than enough iron because I spent a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago, I spent basically an entire day turning all the iron into iron blocks. Or it was a couple hours anyway. But it's more than enough. It was something like 3 or 4 double chests full of iron blocks. But yeah, so that's our progress so far. I don't think there's anything else to show at the moment. We're gonna want to fill this area underneath in as much as possible to prevent any kind of other spawns.
Yeah, it's possible we'll get bats spawning down there, so it might be a bit squeaky.
Which is why we have the glowstone, because the glowstone should hopefully be enough light on the redstone areas that bats don't spawn, but it could still happen. But at least you won't get any other mobs if we fill in as much space as possible. So
by other mobs we mean creepers that could take out the spawner.
Yeah, pretty much. Or any other unpleasants. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the way now. I'm just But yeah, so we're going to cut again. We'll be back when the next portion of the project has had some progress. See you in a second. All right, we're back.
Yay!
And yeah, so it's been a couple days. What was it? When we started getting ready to clear out the space for the thing, I realized that I needed to redesign it. So that took a couple days, and then we were going to record yesterday, but the server kept crashing, so
those pesky spy chickens kept crashing the server.
Yeah, apparently the chicken farm at the iron farm, somebody turned off the lava, so it wasn't killing them, it was just spawning more. But once the server got back up and cleared up last night, I went a little bit overboard, I think, on the build. So
define overboard.
Well, here we go.
Okay. Will I turn around?
Nah, this is good. Here we go. Ready?
Okay. Wow.
So after I got the mechanical stuff done, or the redstone and all that, I kind of just couldn't stop. and I started working on trying to make it look a little bit better. Now, obviously, there are going to be some tweaks to like fix this edge here, this ceiling or whatever, make it fit or whatever. But for the most part.
Oh, you carried on my floor design. Thank you.
Yeah, it didn't quite line up, but I didn't know what else to do with it. So
no, that's fine. You got a group of 4 there, and then a group of 4 there that's slightly off center. So
yeah, I mean, we can always adjust some stuff. This, I thought it made sense to have it actually line up with this section, so we can always adjust this other part, which didn't really line up so much with the hallway anyway. But Yeah. So tell you what, let me flip one of these on so you can see. Oh, and it crashed. I guess we'll be right
Ah,
back.
oh well.
Okay, we're back again.
Here we go again. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, it forgot that I had flipped the levers. Okay, so
I
let's.
think sometimes, depending on how it's crashed, it will go back a bit in time.
Yeah. So let's see. We've got one already spawned, and it'll send him along.
Okay.
And there we go.
Oh, awesome. Hello. How you
And
doing?
the with the tripwire here, when there's one in the space,
Hmm.
it flips the rail so that it goes to the next space and the next and so on. And if
Well,
you get rid of one at the beginning, it will unlock that rail, which means that the next one that comes around will go back to the closest space to the beginning.
okay, so a bit like hoppers, it'll keep going along, and then if there's an earlier slot, it will fill that.
It'll fill the first spot that it gets to that's open. And
Wow.
a very important thing is this lever right here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This lever will tell which direction the carts are going to go when you drop these guys out of the holding cells.
Mm-hmm.
So with the way it's pointed right now, this is recycle mode, which means that if it's just an empty cart for whatever reason, like the cart didn't pick up the zombie, or if you decide the zombie's not worth it and you kill them, it
Mm-hmm.
will send it back around and recycle it back into the original system.
Okay, so if I, sorry, mate, but we have to demonstrate. So if I kill this guy, okay, and then I press this button,
Yep, that'll drop the cart down.
and it's gone back into the
It's gonna
system.
it's gonna cycle around. It's gonna go up a slope, and there's a cactus up there that drops it and puts it
Oh,
back into this
okay.
chest,
Oh, wow.
which
That's
then cycles it through.
that is clever. I like
Now,
that.
I'm going to just send a cart around, and you can actually see the ride going the other way. So if I flip the lever here, now it's pointing towards the base. If you want to hop in that cart,
Okay.
you get to preview.
Ah, wow. Ah. It's a roller coaster.
So you get to preview the ride.
Oh, wow.
You said you wanted to keep that rail, so I found a way to
I
have it
did.
drop them right on top of that rail.
That is brilliant. So that, hang on, let me just run back up here. So dropped I dropped in from up there.
Yeah,
Oh,
from
that
above the
was,
stairs.
wow. That is really clever. I like that.
Yep.
Because as you said, I did want to keep this rail. So that is,
Yep.
I want to go
And
again.
uh,
Maybe you should go so that you can do a recording of it.
you know what? I actually have not seen the entire process, so
Oh,
there we go.
and he's off.
Wee.
Should I push the button?
Yes.
Bye.
Wee. And down we
And
go.
you go. Wonder how much time we're going to spend using this to make villagers and how much time we're going to spend playing with it.
Well, at least we know it works. I was thinking about maybe adding a connection at the top of this rail that if you had enough powered rails to send your carts back, it would just dump them into the system the same way the recycle switch
Well,
does.
what I tend to do if they've got villagers in them is I keep the villagers in the carts, because that means, I know it must seem really horrible, but it means that I can have them behind shop counters which are 1 block high and they're not running around everywhere.
Yeah, it keeps them from escaping, which is a good
Yeah.
thing. So there's a
And
very
because
small chance of you actually sending a cart back, which means that adding that extra recycle probably isn't necessary.
but if we do get, yeah, as you say, it's not really worth adding a way to send the cart back up, because if we do get villagers, they'll never leave their carts.
Exactly.
Unless they're
Now,
junior.
you just need to make sure you remember that if you do cure a villager, you want to flip that towards the base.
Yeah, and not otherwise he'll meet a cactus and it'll be horrible.
Yeah. You can
I
actually
might put
see
some.
you
I
can
might
actually
put
see
some.
through this space right here on the side.
Mm-hmm.
When you flip the lever, it changes
Mm.
the direction they're going to go.
Okay. I might. Have I got a sign on me? Have we got any signs here?
Don't think so. But
I can come back here later with a sign and pop it up.
I guess I should show how it works. If you if you're interested.
Yeah.
So it sends the village or the zombie up around here, and you
Mm-hmm.
can see this cart right now is switched to go into the first slot. I
Mm-hmm.
have it set up so that when they land on that tripwire, it then switches it so that then they go to the next slot, and so on and so forth.
And so on and so forth. So if we wanted to do a series of healings, we could.
Yeah. And the way I designed it, I had to make it in sets of 2, which originally I was just going to have the 2, but then I figured if other people are coming all the way here to cure some villagers, then they're probably going to want to have some extras just in case something happens.
Mm.
So having a set of 4 could have made sense, but I figured a set of 6 would mean I could curve it around.
And it's always better to have more than you're likely to need than less.
Exactly. And then this this release is just it's just a redstone dust and a piston. I mean, it's pretty simple. Piston, torch, and I think there's a repeater in there somewhere.
There is a repeater in there, yeah.
Yeah.
You just see it through the trapdoor.
Yeah, when you push the button, it powers the repeater, which turns off the torch that is next to the piston.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just drop through, and they drop through, and they go along a rail line that's underneath here, and it drops them out. So fairly simple. It's actually a really, really simple system. I should really do a tutorial on it or something.
Yeah.
But I tried to make things look a little bit better around the back even.
Yeah, I do. I love that how you've made it so you can sort of come up here and it looks, even though it's all in the background up here, it still looks really nice.
Yeah,
with all the torches on top of the red blocks and stuff.
I wasn't sure if you were going to want to do any additional decorating for it, but
well, I did originally have an idea in mind, but having looked at what you've built, I've just thrown that completely out the window on account of we've got a better design here. So
okay, well, thanks. And I did I mirrored the ceiling on it back in behind here on the floor as well. So it's got the 3 slab slope at the bottom too. Not that you're going to be behind it down lower much, but it also serves the purpose of mostly spawn proofing a large portion of it.
Yeah, which is always good because the last thing you want is a creeper back here.
Exactly. And I have used the spawn highlight on one of my client-side mods to show me if there are any dark spots, and I don't believe there are any, so
awesome.
It should be good. So the only other thing that could really need to be added to this would be maybe a chest right here that holds all your potions and stuff.
Yeah, because the chest at the moment is it's one of the googly-eyed chests way back at the beginning of the base.
Yeah.
So it would be worth burying everything down here.
Yeah. Now, one thing I would definitely say is if you do have some that need to be recycled, give them time to actually go through one at a time. Like to send carts back into the system, because they can get stuck over here. I blocked off the area above the rail. The cart can go through as long as it's going full speed, but if it bumps into another cart and sticks, then it's going to clog it. So
Okay.
that's just something to watch out for.
So just if I'm releasing carts here, only do it one at a time.
Yeah, pretty much. Other than that, there should be no real issues.
Brilliant. I want to ride it again. I'm.
If you're fast enough, you can actually jump into the cart while it's next to the spawner. There you go.
I'm probably never going to use this to make zombie villages into villages now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to play with it.
Wee.
Whee!
All right. Well, I think that's the end of the project.
And it's been absolutely brilliant, and it's going to be so useful to my ongoing project because I'm going to need as many villages as I can get, and then a few more. So having something like this, which just automates the process and makes it a bit easier, and a bit, because it was such a hassle before having the spawner the way it was and standing on that ledge and cutting them with swords and falling in and getting eaten. So to have something like this, which is so easy to use and fully automated and also works as a roller coaster, is brilliant. So
yeah,
it's
not super efficient, but it does what you need it to do. So that's the important part.
And I really appreciate you taking the time. Oh, I've just dropped some zombie flesh in it. I really appreciate you taking the time to come down here and build it. So thank you very much, Kondrik.
Well, it was fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing whatever touch-ups you do to the rest of the design, because obviously there are a couple spots that need some fine-tuning.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ceiling of this hallway and the ceiling over here.
Well, that's stuff that we can look at later on. I might look at that when I'm streaming.
Yeah. Which I will then now tell my viewers, go check out Jan, mostly on Twitch, but sometimes on YouTube. Of course, there will be links in the description. So if you want to see what Jan does with the rest of the design, head on over to her channels.
Mostly playing on it as a roller coaster. Right, can I grab that?
I believe that will be back around here. So it's most likely in one of these. Oh, it must have dropped into. There it is.
You found it.
Yeah.
Right.
So there we go.
You can keep it if you want. I just didn't want it, because the last thing you need with something like this is a random item breaking it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It won't actually break it. It'll just drop it on the track, and you'll have to push the button another time. But yeah, it would slow things down. So good to keep it clear.
Good to keep it clear.
But yeah, so cool. I hope you enjoy it. I think it'll be useful.
I'm sure I shall. And just one last question: do you have a name for it?
I do not. I need to start coming up with names for my design project things. I'm sure it's not the most efficient design, so whatever, but I really should put out tutorials for the different pieces of it.
I'm tempted to call it the Coasting Dead.
I like it.
Coasting Dead machine. It is brilliant, and thank you so much, because it's gonna be awesome.
Cool.
Come up here, make the villagers, and send them on their merry way to their new life at the trading post.
Cool.
And then everyone can come down here and trade with them. Although I think, was it Valentine who suggested that I charge commission, which it's a good idea. I am considering this.
Well, if you're going to charge commission, you're going to have to provide an easy way for people to get them back to the surface. But that's another project.
That's another project for another day.
Yep. Well, I think that's actually all the time this episode can fit anyway. So, for my viewers, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time, and have a great day.
Bye, Kondrik's viewers. Thanks for Thanks for watching.
Later.
Bye.